Hey guys, welcome back. I figured I would film a little get ready with me during my stay in Chicago. I literally think it's been 3 years since I filmed the last one, which was during my solo trip in Spain. So we are definitely due for a chit chat. I am looking crazy, so I need to do some makeup, fix up these curls, and then we can have some much needed conversation because I feel like I haven't just like sat and talked with you guys in years. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and let's get right into the get ready with me. Okay, so my first step is always just to pull the hair back. Usually I wouldn't be wearing my jewelry just yet, but I went ahead and threw it on for you guys. I already washed my face when I took a shower this morning, and so now I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of serum. And this is the La Mer Revitalizing Hydrating Serum. So now I'm just dotting some eye cream. This is also the La Mer, this is the eye concentrate. And I'm just patting that around my eyes using my ring finger. I think I put way too much lotion on. Oh no, I always do this. I think the key with makeup is like you want to have a good skincare base, but you don't want it to be too thick because then it can get oily, which is what I've done. So don't do that. I'm using Ski RNA Power cream. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that kind of sit and dry for a second. I'm actually gonna go wet and wash my beauty blender, so I will be right back. Okay, so I wet my beauty blender. I just realized that I forgot to bring a primer with me, so I guess we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna start off by putting Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick on. This is in warm beige. You guys, I've had this little guy for so long, and I'm pretty sure that when I finish it, I'm gonna get the full size because I love this stuff. Something about it just blends so seamlessly with my skin. It's crazy. Like almost every time I've worn this, people have asked me like, wow, what are you wearing? Your makeup looks so natural. And that's what I love, is I've realized that for my skin complexion, especially since I'm kind of more oily / combination, I think just that cream stick formula works so much better for me than like a typical liquid foundation. Or like a powder one can be a little bit too drying. So I think like this cream consistency is just like the perfect balance. I want to talk to you guys about this kind of documentary series that I watched just a few weeks back. It's on HBO Max. I highly recommend you guys to watch it, especially if you're someone who identifies with the feminine, because it is all about the beauty industry and how unregulated it is, basically, just to kind of wrap it up. Each episode focuses on a different aspect of beauty, whether it's makeup or hair products or nails, and it just goes through these horror like cases that have happened because these products are just unregulated and they're full of toxins. So like that show, you guys, just literally shook me to my core, and it made me realize how we have no idea what's going into these products and we're slathering them all over our body, all over our face, and it's just disastrous. Like it made me think about my grandma. God bless her soul, she actually passed away due to cancer, and come to find out it was from the Johnson & Johnson baby powder that she had been using her entire life. Like, I mean, my grandma reeked of that powder, and I think that's why I have such a fond association with like that powdery note in perfumes, because it just gives me that sense of my grandma and that sense of like comfort that she gave me. Anyways, you guys should definitely watch that show. One of the things that they talked about was asbestos. So if you don't know what asbestos is, definitely look it up, because I learned about it in biology back in college. Basically, they found that all of these makeup products that contain talc, which most of them do, actually also contain asbestos, and asbestos is highly toxic, causes all sorts of negative effects, cancer, things like that. It causes respiratory dysfunctions and just all of this stuff. So I really need to go through my makeup products and throw out anything that contains talc, because from what they were saying, that even if they say it's asbestos free, most talc contains a small fraction of asbestos, and it won't even be able to be picked up on the test that they run because it's such a minimal amount. But I mean, using that product day after day after day is definitely going to cause health issues. And I mean, thankfully for me, I don't wear makeup every day, so I'm not really as concerned. But for women who wear makeup every day, they really should watch this docu-series. I highly recommend it. It's very informative, and it's gonna really make you reconsider your makeup routine. So that all goes to say that on this trip, I tried to pack not as many powder products. Although I did bring my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am so scared to check the ingredients on this, because if this has talc, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because that's one of like my go-to products for the past several years. That's really the only powder-based product I brought besides the Becca Bronze and Glow little palette, which I love mainly for its blush, and I actually have been using the bronzer and the highlighter too, so it's kind of a great 3-in-1. I just finished applying that base, and now I am just going to go and tap everything in. So I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Almond, and I am going to put this under my eye, the side of my lip, my chin area. While that is kind of setting in stone, this is what I did yesterday. I actually really liked it. So because I really didn't bring a bronzer besides this one, I actually brought this concealer, LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Chestnut. My friend Sydney recommended this, and the first time I used it, I was like, it's too dark, but I think I just didn't really know how to play around with it. So what I kind of do is, like, the tip of the Beauty Blender I'll use to blend out the brighter concealer, and then I'll use the butt for the darker tones. I have truly found that when you use a Beauty Blender, this tapping motion is going to give you the best coverage and the most natural look. The more you kind of like sweep the makeup, the more streaky it'll look. And I found that this like packing technique just works really well, especially since, like I mentioned, I have oily skin, and this kind of helps the concealer kind of absorb into my skin rather than just kind of hang out on the surface. What I usually do is I blend out all of the bright areas, not the eyes, then I start blending out the contour, and then I will do my eyes last. I don't know, is it just me, or I kind of like exploring with new things while I'm on vacation? I feel like a lot of people would be the opposite and kind of stick to their go-to, but for me, I don't know, I just like kind of doing new things, especially since I'm on vacation, and I'm like, why not? Now that I have like the time to try different things out, why not? If you're using like a liquid product as well as like a cream slash stick product, which would go first? Please let me know in the comments down below, because yesterday I did the liquid and then the stick. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'm gonna do the same thing today. So while I blend out my eye area, I thought it would be cool to kind of chat about my Chicago trip. So this is the second time that I'm in Chicago. I was here almost exactly 4 years ago. First nightclub I went to, I had not planned it, nothing. I just walked right in, went to the line, and Jeremiah was performing there, and I was like, okay, if this isn't my sign that Chicago is for me, then I don't know what is, because I freaking love Jeremiah. If you guys like Jeremiah, give this video a thumbs up. It is time to go in with some powder. So I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier, and I'm gonna put just a little bit on the tip of the Beauty Blender, just like so. Pack this under my eye. I like putting powder around my lip and mouth area because obviously when you eat, makeup tends to kind of come off in that area, so I really like to make sure that the makeup is set in place around my mouth. And also, it makes a great base when you're putting your lipstick on. And then just a little bit on the forehead area as well. So I'm going to use this kind of sheer powder brush and just kind of swipe it off. And it doesn't leave streaks either, which I love. So now I'm going to go in with the Fenty Matchstick in the color Amber, and I'm just going to go over exactly where I had that bronzer concealer. So back to my trip to Chicago. So I arrived here on May 23rd, and I'm only gonna be here till May 26th, so it's a really short trip. But you know, it's great. I'm still grateful regardless, because I've honestly seen most of the attractions in Chicago. I've been to the Bean, I went to the 2 hot museums, I've been to a lot of the nightclubs and rooftop bars. So this time was honestly mainly for reflection, for me time. Like, why do we need a reason to just spend time by ourselves? I think that alone time is so key. And it's also so beautiful to like be able to do things that you wouldn't typically do at home, or like if you were vacationing with someone else. So for instance, like yesterday, I just like slept in, didn't set an alarm, which I know a lot of people on vacation like want to wake up early and like do all this stuff. For me, I'm like in the middle. I don't like sleeping in super late. I mean, besides the first day of travel, because I think you should just like allow your body to rest. But I'm definitely one person who's like, I'm not gonna set an alarm for like 6 a.m. to go sightsee. That is just not me. Like, I like traveling with ease and comfort and relaxation. Don't get me wrong, like there are times I might wake up for a hike or something in particular, but it's not like an everyday thing. Vacation should be meant for recharging your soul, not draining it. So now I'm gonna go over that same area with this color in the Becca Endless Bronze and Glow palette. So it's gonna be the bronzer right at the bottom. And I am just going to lightly go over that area. So yesterday I slept in, and I then got ready. I actually filmed a few YouTube videos for you guys, which I love to do while I'm on vacation, because there's just like a different vibe to it. I don't know. For me, it's just different when I'm waking up in a different city and getting ready in a different area and shooting in a different location. I don't know, something about it is just so invigorating and exciting. And then I actually went walking out into the town. My hotel is on Magnificent Mile, which is like central and just walking distance from the Bean and all like the big attractions. So I really love that. So I actually set my Google Maps to take me to this restaurant that was like, I don't know, a few blocks away. And while I was walking, I stumbled across this bookstore. So like, for example, this is one of the things that like I would do by myself, but probably not if I was with somebody else. And that is just like walk into a random bookstore and hang out. So during my walk to this restaurant called Emma, which by the way, highly recommend. It's a really cute Mediterranean place with like the best ambiance. While I was walking there, I actually stumbled across this used bookstore, which is like so cute. I haven't been to a used bookstore in so long. Like obviously I've been to Barnes and Noble and like that sort of thing, but not like an actual like authentic bookstore with the smell of books and all that stuff. So like I walked in there and I just had an absolute ball looking around. And I just feel like bookstores are so therapeutic. I don't know if it's just me because I'm like a huge reader and writer, but something about bookstores is just like so healing to me and so therapeutic being in there. So that was nice. And then from there, I went and strolled down to Emma, and I had a cocktail there and I had a little appetizer, and that was just absolutely amazing. The bar was full of like people working, so I just took out my book and I was reading my book, which I've been so into lately. So I'm currently reading Wild by Cheryl Strayed, and wow, it has been super amazing. Like I'm just about at the midway mark and I have been absolutely loving it. I hadn't really read memoirs, and then last year I read Shoe Dog by the founder of Nike, and this year I read When Breath Becomes Air, and like wow. I also read Why the Caged Bird Sings, and after reading those 3 memoirs, like I fell in love with that genre. So I'm super happy to be reading this book. This is actually I think my 25th or 26th book of the year, which like makes me so happy because I have never read this much in my life and just been so invested in like novels and stories and different genres too. Like I feel like I've really stepped outside of my comfort zone. I used to just straight up read nonfiction. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add some blush, and that is just the center color in the same Becca palette. And I'm going to put this on the apples of my cheek. So after I went to Emma and had a drink, an appetizer, and read, I then walked back to the hotel just for a little quick pick-me-up, you know, fixed up my makeup, and then I went and walked over to my dinner reservations, which were at Zuko, Tzuco, and I had a little cocktail and bite there, and then started chatting with the girl sitting next to me, which was really nice. If I go out to eat by myself, like let's say at the bar, and someone next to me is also sitting by themselves, I'm always like, should I spark up a combo? Like, is it awkward for us both to just be solo? Should I say something? Like, I don't know why I think so hard about that, but then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not as extroverted as I thought, because I will literally think to myself for 20 minutes, should I say something to this person? Oh my god, why am I overthinking this? Like, you're an adult, you can say hello. And I just feel like we live in this digital age now. We've become so disconnected from one another. Like, why is it so weird to just spark up a combo with someone? Like, I don't know why we as humans get anxiety about that when human connection is just like the source of life, right? Like, why are we so disconnected from one another? And why are we so absorbed in this digital world online? It's crazy to me. So today should be a lot more adventurous. I actually woke up earlier today and I went and had breakfast down at the lounge, and then now I'm just getting ready, and I plan to go visit that central location in Chicago where the Bean is, and Millennium Park, I don't know, whatever that park is called. And I'm also going to go to the Chicago Cultural Center because I've never been there and it looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go check that out. And then right next to that same area, there is supposed to be this really cute rooftop bar. So I figured that after I walked around and explored a bit, I could go and grab like a bite and a cocktail there. So that is my plan for today. Tomorrow's already my last day here, so I think tomorrow will be a pretty chill day. I'm just going to probably do some shopping. There's actually a mall across the street from me, and for once my luggage actually has a little bit of extra space. So every time I have a little bit of extra space, I'm like, that is my sign to go get some shopping done. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna go shop a little bit and then go to Italy, which is also located right by the mall. Oh, there's also a Starbucks Roastery Reserve right down the street. So I'm planning to also at one point go there, stop for a coffee, either today or tomorrow. Sorry guys, there was a bunch of sirens, so I just had to stop filming for a second, but just to recap, I did my eyebrows with the Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Ebony. I just filled them in just a little bit. And then I covered that with the clear brow gel. I combed them up. And then I used the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect for mascara. By the way, I found that drugstore mascara works better than like high-end brands. Is that just me? Let me know your guys' thoughts. Set my face with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. So I like putting soft spoken on the outer edge of my lips. I like filling it in with whipped caviar and then the lipstick afterwards. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you guys up after. Put a little bit of Kinda Sexy by MAC, and then just a little bit of Fenty Glow. So I'm just gonna fix up my hair a little bit with my T3 curling iron, and I'll be right back. So I really wish that there was someone to take a video of my entire outfit, but this is it. So I have my Gucci loafers, of course, my favorites. Then I have my Furla bag, these really cute work pants that I got from Massimo Dutti, which actually is owned by Zara. And then I have this cute cashmere top from Nordstrom's. For jewelry, I have my Missoma hoops, M Jeweler necklace, Tory Burch bracelet. If you guys haven't heard about this ring, then make sure to go check out my favorite items of 2021. And then on this hand, I have my M Jeweler clasp bracelet here in rose gold, and I also have another bracelet from APM Monaco that has that kind of cool design. And then my Cartier love ring with the 3 diamonds. Now it's finally time to go.